talent, and now they work for me. My name is Charlie.
Remember when Wednesday nights meant feathered hair, high-speed chases, and 3 detectives who could take down criminals in bikinis? Charlie's Angels wasn't just a show. It was a cultural phenomenon that had dads, brothers, and every guy on the block glued to the screen. Buckle up, because we're counting down 10 shocking facts that'll make you see Sabrina, Jill, and Kelly in a whole new light.
Your contact in Pine Parish will be a sheriff's deputy, Dan Winston.
Number 10. The boss stayed ghost. Charlie Townsend never showed his face. Not once in 115 episodes. Just a voice through a speaker, handing out assignments like some kind of disembodied HR department. Only Bosley ever met him in person, and even that was off camera. The audience never got the payoff. Why'd they do it? Simple economics mixed with narrative genius. Keep the mystery alive. Save money on an actor who'd demand star billing. It was the television equivalent of Hitchcock's best trick. The less you show, the more they imagine. The girls did the work. Charlie collected the mythology. 26 million people a week didn't need to see his face. They just needed to hear that voice. Smooth as bourbon, rich as a studio contract. Tell those angels where to point their feathered hair next.
Very private person.
I know that, but to work for a man you've never laid eyes on seems so...
Number 9. ABC didn't believe their own numbers. The pilot aired March 21, 1976. The ratings came back massive, historic even. So what did the network do? They aired it again a week later. Not because audiences demanded it, because the suits couldn't believe it was real. Think about that. A show performs so well that grown men in corner offices assume the system broke. That's not confidence. That's terror disguised as caution. They needed proof their golden ticket wasn't counterfeit. It was real. Lightning in a bottle, catching an entire country off guard. The second airing confirmed what the first one screamed. America wanted this show. The network had stumbled backwards into a phenomenon, and they were so shocked by their own success they had to check the math twice. Number 8. Jiggle TV was the nicest thing critics called it. The critics smelled blood. They dubbed it Jiggle TV, a show built on skimpy disguises, bouncing assets, and demographics. The kind of programming that made television executives rich and cultural commentators furious. 2 great tastes that hated each other. Farrah Fawcett had the perfect comeback. I wore a bra. 4 words that cut through every think piece. Sure, the costumes were designed by people who understood exactly what they were selling, but the actresses weren't apologizing. They saw it differently. Action, agency, women who solved crimes while looking fantastic doing it.
Oh, damn, you're pretty.
Number 7. Farrah walked, got sued, then came crawling back. 1 season. That's how long Farrah Fawcett lasted before she decided stardom meant not being angel number 2 anymore. She had a 5-year contract. She quit anyway. The producers did what producers do when someone breaks a contract. They sued. The settlement was pure Hollywood poetry. She'd return for 6 guest appearances, 3 in season 3, 3 in season 4, not as a regular, as a visitor to the empire she'd helped build, then abandoned. A reminder to every actor watching, you can leave, but the contract always finds you. Imagine that, becoming the biggest star on television, then having to come back and play nice after the lawyers finished negotiating. She got her movie career. They got their pound of flesh. Everyone smiled for the cameras. Everyone remembered the lesson. In television, the show owns you until the show says otherwise.
The waters run deep in this case, angels, and I'm up to my hips right now.
Number 6. Charlie's voice almost belonged to someone else. Gig Young was supposed to be Charlie. They cast him, recorded him. Then somebody noticed the drinking problem. not enjoys a cocktail drinking, the kind that makes insurance companies nervous and directors reschedule entire shoot days. So they made a call. John Forsythe got summoned at the last minute, television's version of a relief pitcher in the 9th inning. He walked into a studio, read the lines through a speaker, and created one of the most recognizable voices in TV history. No screen time, no costume fittings, just that voice, smooth and authoritative, selling mystery through a telephone. That's how close the whole thing came to being different. One actor's demons became another actor's signature role. Forsythe collected paychecks for 5 seasons without ever being seen. Number 5. Season 1 hit like a freight train. 5th place in the Nielsen ratings. That's where Charlie's Angels landed in its first full season, 1976 to 77. An average rating of 26.0, which in network television terms translates to print money, extend contracts, option sequels. 2 years earlier, this show didn't exist. Now it was top 5 in America. The kind of success that makes careers, launches franchises, and convinces executives that maybe they know what they're doing after all. They didn't. They just got lucky with perfect timing. Post-Vietnam, post-Watergate, pre-cable fragmentation. America wanted escape. 3 women in matching outfits provided it. The network rode that wave like surfers who couldn't believe the ocean was cooperating. Merchandising deals followed. Lunchboxes, dolls, posters that sold millions. The Angels weren't just a show anymore. They were infrastructure.
Never seen him. How would we know? Actually, I think I hate this color.
Number 4. Then the ratings went the way all ratings eventually go. Top 10 the first 2 years, then 12th in Season 3, 20th in Season 4. By the final season, 1980, they'd cratered to 59th place. That's not a decline. That's free fall with statistics. What happened? The same thing that always happens. Audiences moved on. The novelty wore off. Cast changes weakened the chemistry. Other networks learned the formula and copied it cheaper. The girls kept running, but America stopped caring where they were going. It's the trajectory of every hit show that doesn't know when to quit. You either die a legend or live long enough to finish 59th in the ratings, wondering where everybody went. By the end, it felt like 3 too many, but the contracts were signed. The episodes needed producing, so they kept the cameras rolling until even the diehards changed the channel. Number 3. That Loveboat crossover was peak desperation genius. Season 4 premiere. They needed a stunt, so they crossed over with the Loveboat, the floating hotel show that somehow existed in the same universe. The episode introduced Shelley Hack as the new Angel. And it worked. Number 1 in the Nielsen ratings that week. Think about the pitch meeting. What if the Angels investigated a crime on a cruise ship? Somebody greenlit that. Somebody else wrote the check. And America tuned in because 1979 was a simpler time when crossover episodes were events, not punchlines. It was the television equivalent of a Hail Mary that actually reached the end zone. 4th season of a fading show hits number 1 by borrowing credibility from a completely different show about retirees finding love on the Pacific. Number 2. ABC tried making it rain men. The show was dying, but the format was proven. So ABC launched the backdoor pilot called Tony's Boys. Same concept, different chromosomes. Barbara Stanwyck played Antonia Tony Blake. 3 male detectives taking orders. Easy money, right? Wrong. Nobody picked it up. The network learned what any fool could have told them for free. The Angels worked because of the Angels, not because of the speakerphone boss structure. You can't reverse engineer chemistry. You can't franchise magic. The suits learned that lesson the expensive way. The pilot aired. The audience shrugged. Tony's Boys joined the graveyard of shows that sounded good in a pitch meeting.
Hired so she wouldn't leave. And
Number 1. The title almost ruined everything. First, it was The Alley Cats, which sounds like a show about feral animals or jazz musicians, not crime-fighting women. Then Harry's Angels, which tested like a wet blanket in a focus group. Aaron Spelling was stuck. He needed something that sang. Then he looked up, saw a painting in his office. 3 angels. Boom. Charlie's Angels. The title that launched 1,000 lunchboxes. That's how close it came to being forgotten. Wrong title. Wrong vibe. Wrong cultural moment. But Spelling caught lightning because he stopped overthinking and trusted his eyes. The angels weren't cats. They weren't Harry's. They were Charlie's. Mysterious. Aspirational. Perfect. One painting changed television history.
Electronics genius who for the past 2 years worked for the Rams.
Bonus fact. 115 episodes later, they finally stopped 5 seasons. 1976 to 1981, 115 episodes total, counting that 74-minute pilot that started everything. That's the entire run, a half-decade of feathered hair, action sequences, and cultural arguments about what it all meant. Not bad for a show the critics hated and the network didn't believe in. It spawned movies, reboots, endless retrospectives. It made stars. It moved merchandise. It defined an era of television when 3 networks could still make something everybody talked about the next day. So there's the case file. 3 women in danger wigs conquered America while the network suits counted money and critics sharpened their knives. Subscribe if you want more stories about the beautiful machinery of pop culture. And smash that notification bell because the case files keep coming. Until next time, keep your questions sharp and your nostalgia honest.